Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm here to convince you that graffiti is art. We all need to be open-minded about the message behind graffiti and really look at the image and what it represents. Look at that building over there. Someone really vandalized it. That's awful. How could someone do that? I'm sure many of you have said this or have heard people say this as you're walking through your community and you see what you may see as writing or just paint, but it's graffiti art. Has anyone ever stopped and really took the time to figure out the message that's being sent, or why someone chose to express themselves in such a public manner? Those that you that said never, I want you to view these slides that I have. I have a few slides that I want you to look at. Each of you will interpret something different, and you can determine what you think. Is it art or is it vandalism? So I'm going to share my screen for you to view, and just take some time to think about what you see. So of course, everyone's going to interpret something a little different. This one kind of is self-explanatory. This one will take a little more for you to figure out what message is the artist trying to bring about, or what change. This one here, same thing. It would take you a little time to figure out what message is this artist, what do they want you to see, or what change are they trying to bring about. And this one, another one that's pretty self-explanatory, but still great art to bring certain social issues to the forefront. So I want you to think about these images as we continue on today with this speech. So I personally like standing and looking at graffiti and trying to decipher what's on the person's mind and what really made them send this message in such an artful way. I usually try to research and find what is it that they want me to know. Again, people need to be more open-minded about the message behind graffiti and really look at the image of what it represents. There's a need for graffiti in society. There's two New York artists that I want you guys to remember. Of course, there's thousands of graffiti artists, but these are the two that I want to talk about today. One is Keith Haring, and one is Tatiana Falazazade, and I hope I'm saying that correctly. And I'm going to spell the last name for you. It's Fazlalizade. But first, we're going to talk about Keith Haring. He used space to create conversations, and his art is known throughout the world. But his most notable mural was the Crack as Whack mural, which he painted in the city of New York. And it was to bring awareness of the crack epidemic that started happening in the late to early, to the late 80s to the early, into the early 90s. So I'm going to share my screen again so that you can have a look at his message. So this is his Crack is Whack mural. And of course, this was, again, to bring a social issue to the forefront so that people could understand the need for some type of intervention on the epidemic of crack. Now we are going to move forward here, but before we go on to our next graffiti artist, I want to ask, are there any of you at this point still not convinced that graffiti is art? So let's talk about Tatiana Falazade. Again, hopefully I'm saying that correctly, but I did give you the spelling of it. She also makes public statements about societal issues. With her graffiti, her most notable one is Stop Telling Women women, to smile. And she talked about the issues that uh, arose in Mexico. She gave the women there a voice to speak on a issue of harassment and inequalities of women in the streets of Mexico. She gave them a voice, and it was with a simple message, but it would make you want to know more and make you go and research or find out more about what she's trying to address. And what it was to bring attention to an unaddressed issue. And again, I'm going to share my screen and allow you to see the art that she created for this issue. So it is a simple message. Stop telling women to smile. This would promote you or ignite you to say, well, why is she sending this message? What is this that she's telling to stop telling women to smile? So that was something that she used because there was an issue in Mexico that women could not voice what was going on with them. So she wanted to help in bringing attention to this issue. How do we get people to view graffiti as art? We must educate people to see that graffiti can beautify a community and make something not so pleasing to the eye aesthetically pleasing. Also, make people aware that many social issues that have been brought to the forefront of social awareness is through graffiti art, just as the examples that I just showed you. If we all take time to revisit, think, and reflect on the graffiti that we have viewed as vandalism and instead view it as legitimate street art to help bring change or to give hope to those in a community that otherwise would not see hope in sight, then we can be happy knowing that we're seeing graffiti for what it is. I don't want to say that all graffiti is art, but we do have to see the world as a large canvas that allows freedom of expression. I want each of you to think about the skill necessary to create graffiti, and not just the skill, but think about the thought that has to go into this art to make a change in the mindset of a society. Think of how graffiti beautifies and enhances a wall or a train by giving it character, while also delivering a message of change or action, or just changing something dull into something beautiful. In my conclusion, take time to see the message in graffiti. It's not just writing or paint on the wall. It's an individual's view on different issues that they want the world to see and to take action. I want each of you to leave here today confident that graffiti is art, not vandalism. Thank you all for your time and attention. Have a great day.